we will discuss AWS pricing models, some pricing tools, and lastly, AWS support options. Fundamentals of pricing. This slide shows some of the ways customers can pay for AWS services. Let's dive a bit deeper into each one of the topics shown. One of the many advantages of AWS is the pay-as-you-go pricing. In the on-prem world, there was a risk of over-provisioning capacity or under-provisioning capacity. With the cloud, customers pay for resources as they consume them. This removes the headache of capacity planning and allows customers to focus on their core business. It is similar to how consumers flip a switch to turn on a light in their home and their power companies send electricity. With certain services like EC2 and RDS, customers can invest in reserve capacity. With their workloads needs are long-running, known, and predictable. There are few payment options available to consumers, which are all upfront, partial upfront, and no upfront payments. The biggest advantage to customers is if they reserve their capacity between 1 to 3 years, they receive a discount over the on-demand price of up to 75% depending upon the payment method they choose. With AWS, customers get automatic volume-based discounts for certain services. An example of this is S3, the simple storage service, which uses tiered pricing. What this means is that the more customers use S3, the less they pay per GB a month. Another example of automatic volume-based discount is data transfer out of an AWS region. The more data customers send out of the region, they pay less per gig a month. There are 3 fundamental pricing concepts for AWS services. For compute resources, they are billed by the second for Amazon Linux OS and Ubuntu, and per hour for Windows operating system. Note that any operating system, such as Red Hat Linux, which requires a license, is also billed by the hour. Storage costs are relatively straightforward and typically charged per GB provisioned. Generally speaking, any data transfer into AWS, there is no charge. There is a charge for outbound data transfer, and the charge is typically done on a per GB basis. We recommend consulting the AWS documentation for the most up-to-date information on the pricing per service per region. Different services are priced differently. Let's dive into some of the services listed to see how pricing works. With EC2, there are 4 purchase types. The first is on-demand. This is the default option if customers spin up an EC2 instance or virtual machines. As explained earlier, the pricing is done on a per second or per hour basis depending upon the operating system being used. The second type is reserve instances. Customers can receive up to 75% discount over the on-demand pricing when they commit for a 1 to 3 year period. The third option is dedicated hosts. These are physical servers dedicated to customers. They are typically used when customers want to BYOL into AWS. The fourth option is spot instances. Customers can pay for spare AWS capacity and receive up to 90% discount over the on-demand price. This is a great option to gain access to large amounts of capacity at a heavily discounted cost. Let's take a look at a demo how spot pricing works. In this demo, we will visually explain what spot instances are. Here we have a basic graph to illustrate example compute capacity in an availability zone. Along the x-axis, we have time and y-axis we have capacity. Capacity planning for reserve instance is fairly simple. Customer commit for 1 to 3 years and receive up to 75% of savings over on-demand. In the graph, reserve instance capacity is growing at a steady rate. The on-demand instance usage is determined by AWS customers' usage will go up and down based on the customer demand and is illustrated in the graph. Provision capacity is the amount of compute capacity within the example availability zone. Here we have highlighted the spare unused capacity. Customers can enter their max price for spare capacity in the spot market. AWS controls the spot price based on the spare capacity in the availability zone. Spot instances provide a steep discounts of up to 90% over on-demand price. However, customer can lose this capacity if AWS needs the capacity back. Let's take a look at scenario of how this works. In scenario 1, there is a lot of spare capacity. Let's assume the instance we want at spot is normally at $1 in on-demand price. Customer launches a spot instance and enters a max price of 30 cents. The current spot price is 27 cents, which means the instance launch is successful. The customer's max price exceeds the spot price, so they will get the instance at 27 cents per hour. But what happens if the spot price goes up? In scenario 2, there is less spare capacity available, so the spot price is raised to 70 cents. The spot price now exceeds the customer's max price of 30 cents. The customer is given a 2-minute warning via CloudWatch events and instance EC2 metadata URL. After 2 minutes, the instance is terminated, stopped, or hibernated depending upon the configuration the customer has set. EBS volumes are charged by gigabyte provisioned a month, but price does vary depending upon the type of EBS volume selected. For example, a 100 gigabyte provision IOPS volume will cost more than 100 gigabyte general purpose volumes. To back up EBS volume, EBS snapshots are used and stored in S3. Pricing for snapshots is charged by space consumed in S3. There is also a charge if an EBS snapshot is copied across regions. Lastly, don't forget the AWS data transfer out aspect. If your application transfers a lot of data outbound to the internet, there is a charge for this. S3 pricing is determined by 3 factors. First is storage. The amount of storage used will change the price as well as the storage type. For example, S3 standard storage costs slightly more than the infrequent access storage. Second is the number of requests and type. For example, there is a charge for GET, PUT, and copy requests. Third is data transfer out. Any data transferred out of the region from S3 incurs a charge. There are AWS services that are free of charge: Amazon VPC, Elastic Beanstalk, Autoscaling, AWS CloudFormation, and AWS IAM. While there is no charge for the service, note that there is a charge for any resource spun up with these services. For example, if Autoscaling starts new EC2 instance, there is a charge for the EC2 instance. Cost estimating tools. The AWS free tier allows customers to get hands-on experience with AWS for 12 months at no cost. Simply sign up for an account, view your tutorials on our site, and then go build on AWS. The free tier is scoped to a specific resource, so do a search for the AWS free tier to see which resources are eligible. The simple monthly calculator is a tool that can be used to estimate cost in AWS. You specify the region you want to run your workload in. Select the various services you wish to consume, such as EC2, S3, and Calculator will provide an estimate of the AWS charges per month. AWS Cost Explorer is a tool that can be used to analyze AWS expenditure. The tool can also forecast what the expected spend is based on the current usage of AWS services. Trusted Advisor is another tool provided to customers from the AWS console. I always mention in my classes that it is like having an AWS expert sitting at your desk to help you determine if AWS best practices are being followed in the AWS account. There are a number of checks that are performed around cost, performance, security, fault tolerance, and service limits. The tool will highlight problem areas and provide recommendations to fix the issue, as well as helpful documentation links to resolve identified issues. AWS support. Here is an overview of the AWS support plans customers can subscribe to. The basic plan is free of charge and offers supports for account and billing questions. The customers go up in the support plans, they unlock access to more support options and tooling. For example, under the Enterprise Support Plan, customers get a dedicated technical account manager, solution architects, infrastructure event management, as well as other services and features. My AWS journey started in AWS as an EC2 Windows engineer. I can honestly say the premium team is really customer obsessed and will always work with the customers to help resolve their issues. The AWS Well-Architected Framework. The AWS Well-Architected Framework is a guide for designing infrastructure in the cloud according to the AWS best practices. The framework was developed after reviewing thousands of customers' architectures on AWS. It is not a blueprint for architecture, but rather provides a consistent approach for evaluating architectures. The framework assesses architectures by asking customers a series of questions across 5 well-architected pillars. These questions assist customers in determining if they were well-architected in the AWS cloud. The 5 pillars of the frame are operational excellence. This looks at the ability to run and monitor systems to deliver business value and continually improving supporting processes and procedures. Some of the design principles are perform operations as a code, anticipate failures, and learn from failures. Security. This pillar focuses on ability to protect information, systems, and assets while delivering business value through risk assessments and mitigation strategies. Some of the design principles: strong identify foundation, traceability, security at all layers, automation of security, and protect data at rest and in transit. Reliability. This pillar focuses on the ability of system to recover from infrastructure or service disruptions. Some design principles: test recovery procedures, automatically recover from failure, scale horizontally, and manage change in automation. Performance efficiency. This pillar focuses on the ability to use computer resources efficiently. Some of the design principles are: democratize advanced technologies, serverless architectures, and experimenting more often. Cost optimization. This pillar focuses on the ability to reduce underutilized resources and/or suboptimal resources. Some of the design principles are: use managed services, adopt a consumption model, measure overall efficiency, and analyze expenditure. This is an example of a reference architecture which focuses on reliability pillar of the well-architected framework. This is a typical three-tier web architecture that is made highly available by using the elastic load balancer service. If a web server goes down or an availability zone, the load balancer can distribute load to the healthy backend instance to ensure uptime for the web application. By inserting a load balancer into this architecture, we make the application highly available and resilient from single point of failure. Here is another example architecture that builds on the previous basic three-tier web application. Let's walk through this together, following each of the numbers. Users' DNS requests are serviced by Amazon Route 53. This is a highly available DNS service that runs in more than 200 locations around the world using AWS Edge locations. AWS Content Distribution Network, which can cache object closer to the end user to reduce latency. This service also leverages the 200 plus AWS Edge locations we have around the world. Any static content from the site is stored in S3, a highly durable storage infrastructure, which means we do not have to consume compute and storage resources on our EC2 instance. HTTP requests are first handled by the Elastic Load Balancing Service, which automatically distributes incoming traffic to our EC2 instances across availability zones. The EC2 web server processes the web traffic. Customers can customize the applications deployed on their EC2 instance and can pre-bake their Amazon machine images to spin up more instances of the same application. The EC2 instances are deployed in an EC2 auto-scaling group, which can be intelligently scaled out or scale in based on the coming load into your application. This is a way to give your application the compute it needs to service your request under heavy load, and then remove that compute to save cost and the load goes down. An Amazon RDS database is used in a multi-AZ deployment to give a database layer redundancy. Data is automatically replicated between a master and a standby database instance managed by AWS. The entire architecture has been designed with high availability, redundancy, and security in the mind. Thanks for watching this online awesome day. I hope it has been informative and have learned something new and are keen to go out and build on AWS. Let's understand how we can continue our learning journey on AWS via AWS Training and Certification Platform. AWS Training ensures you have ample learning resources to embark your journey to the cloud. AWS certifications help you validate the cloud skill set that you have. A study was conducted by IDC by the name of Train to Accelerate Your Cloud Strategy. It says it enables organizations to accelerate the rate of adoption and achieve business objectives sooner. As per Global Knowledge IT Skills and Salary Report, globally, 4 of the 5 top-paying certifications are in cloud computing. AWS Training can help you fast-track your cloud adoption by up to 80%. AWS Training can help empower the user in giving confidence that they're using the cloud in the optimal way and can help improve your IT staff productivity. When you know about the best practices in the cloud through AWS Training, it helps you overcome the operational and performance concerns. As per the studies mentioned above, having employees trained in the latest technologies like cloud computing, it also leads to increase the retention rate of the organizations as well. AWS training and certification builds your competence, confidence, and credibility through practical cloud skills that helps you innovate and build your future. Our content is built by experts at AWS and updated regularly, so you are always learning the latest and keeping your skills fresh. AWS learning paths are designed to help you build and advance your skill in specific technical areas. We offer learning path based on roles, solution areas, and specialty domains. With recommended training courses and AWS certification exams, AWS learning paths make it easy for you to progress in building and validating your AWS cloud skills. We offer both digital and classroom training so you can learn online at your own pace or from a live instructor. AWS classroom training is available in local languages by APN training partners and AWS instructors. Whether you're just starting out, building an existing IT skills, or sharpening your cloud knowledge, our training can help you be more effective and do more with the AWS cloud. Free and on-demand digital training helps you build new cloud skills and learn about the latest services when and where it is convenient for you. Ranging from quick 10-minute tutorials to in-depth 8-hour courses, there is a digital course to meet your learning needs. AWS digital courses can be accessed, stopped, and started at any time, enabling you to complete them at your own pace. When new AWS services launch, our course portfolio grows. Stays up to date with the learning library at aws.training. AWS Classroom Training offers you the chance to take a live class with an instructor who teaches you in-demand cloud skills and best practices using a mix of presentations, discussions, and hands-on labs. Taught by expert AWS trainers, in-person classroom training enables you to ask questions and get on-the-spot practical help. You'll also have the opportunity to network with other learners and share valuable experience. AWS Training and Certifications works with approved APN training partners to expand delivery and offer classes in local languages. AWS certifications help you identify those you want to entrust with your AWS projects and cloud initiatives. The 2018 Global Knowledge Report shows that AWS certified professionals solve problems faster and more productive, which gets you to your business goals faster and more reliably. This lowers risk as well as ensure that mistakes are avoided, including costly outages and security breaches. All of this is what makes AWS certifications amongst the most highly rated and sought-after certifications in the industry. We have 12 certifications, including the Foundational Cloud Practitioner certification, Associate Level Solution Architect, Developer, and SysOps, the Professional Level Solution Architect and DevOps, and the specialty certifications for advanced networking, data analytics, and machine learning, and Alexa Skill Builder. There are many relevant AWS training courses and other resources to assist you with acquiring additional knowledge and skills to prepare for certification. The Cert Prep section offers resources to supplement your experience and help you prepare for AWS certification. Thank you for watching the Awesome Day. You will receive a certificate of attendance. A kind reminder to complete the feedback form. Let us know what you thought of today's event and how we can improve the event experience for you in the future. Thanks for watching Awesome Day. In this section of the course, we will discuss